is Zoe, back from Marshmallow Sheep. This is episode 2 of my knitting podcast, and I'm so excited to be back with you all. Oh my goodness. I have been craving doing this recording again, which is kind of funny because it's only been 2 weeks, but I'm just like, ooh, I want to make a podcast, but I don't have enough stuff done. So I paced myself. Be proud of me. It was hard. But anyway, yeah, no, I'm back. I've got a lot to talk about. I'm gonna stick, I think, with the finished objects, whips, and I do have an acquisition, but mostly what I want to do for the last segment of this is just talk about things I'm planning to knit in the future. So hopefully that'll be fun for everybody. I think it will be. But yeah, let's just get started. So first up, for finished objects, I actually don't have either of my finished objects with me. I'm sorry. They were both gifts. So they're both with my mom, actually. But I'll just start from the beginning. I've got my handy dandy notebook here. So the first one is the Benon Headband by Hazel Tyndall. I will put a picture in this time because I learned how to do that. So yes, the headband. That was my colorwork headband made with the Jamieson and Smith jumper weight wool, and it turned out really well, actually. I'm really proud of it. It was difficult to get into the rhythm of, color work for the first time, but it wasn't too bad. And I actually went and talked with my friends at Knit Night about it once again. Thank you, Danielle, for always saving my ass when it comes to knitting things. But I was telling her I was having trouble with the chart and keeping the chart straight. And she's like, well, why don't you just use stitch markers to block off the chart repeats? And I'm like, I can use stitch markers to block off the chart repeats. Why did I not think of that? So I did, and it was so much better. It's just like life is always better when you do what you're supposed to do in the first place. But yeah, no, once I figured that out, which was unfortunately halfway through the headband, but the second half looks really nice. I will put a picture up in here so you can see what I mean, featuring my lovely wife's lovely hands, because I couldn't get the thing to lie flat. But yeah, the colors on camera still do pop better than they do in real life, but I gave it to my mom, and she doesn't mind. She says she thinks she can see it all perfectly. I remember thinking it looks like snowflakes when I bought the pattern, or I guess downloaded the pattern, and seeing that it was butterflies, and then I made it and it still looks like snowflakes. And I'm not entirely sure if that's because I messed up the first 5 rows and it would look more like butterflies if I hadn't done that, but it still looks like snowflakes, which is good because my mom likes snowflakes more than butterflies. But she's really excited with it because it's the jumper weight wool it's like a fingering weight basically. It's really thin, so she's gonna wear it under her helmet when she rides her horse, and she's very excited about that. It fits her super duper well. My floats turned out really great too, actually. I'm really proud of them. They're all pretty dang even. It's not too tight, it's not too small or anything like that, so that's good. What else to say about that? I don't know if I'll be using the Jamieson and Smith again anytime soon. I do still have 2 whole little balls of it, because it's not that the headband didn't take up as much as I thought it was going to. So I might make something for my dad out of it, but again, the colors just I don't think they pop hard enough for you to really be able to see it to be worth the fact that I'm doing color work with it. And I wasn't happy with how much that blue skein kept breaking on me. So again, I don't know if it's just a dud ball or whatever, and everybody loves Jamieson Smith, so it should be fine, but like, I didn't like it that much. The green one was still great. I love the colors on their own were fine, but I don't think I'll be doing that again anytime soon, but I probably will in the future. So that's my headband. And then the other one, my other finished object, was this. It is the standard size Dachshund Hat by Valia Butenko on Ravelry. Again, all these patterns are from Ravelry. I'll link them below. This, my mom has been asking me for a dog hat for my dog, or my mom's dog Jake, for a very long time. He is, I know he's a Chihuahua, and I think he's a Border Collie mix. But what that means is he's got a thick body and a teeny tiny little head, just this big, so small. And he's got huge flippy floppy ears. And Mom always thinks they get cold, so she wanted me to make him a little hat, because she's seen a lot of little hats for dogs on Instagram and Facebook and stuff. So I did. And it actually knit up super duper quickly. This is done in a worsted weight yarn. I just made it out of like the touch of alpaca stuff. So it's like mostly acrylic with like 10% alpaca because I wanted to be able to wash it. But it turned out really well, and I did it in like a day, like in an afternoon really. So super quick knit, which I was really happy about. And I made my first pom-pom ever, which was really fun. I was always nervous because I'm like, I don't want to make pom-poms. They look so scary. They're not scary. Once again, I was scared for nothing. Pom-poms are fine. It is a little scraggly, but I was worried that if I kept trimming it, then I would take away, I would make it too small, basically. So I think next time I need to be more strategic because I just kind of like went at it with my scissors. But it's okay. It's okay. It's a pom-pom for a dog. It doesn't have to look perfect. That's what I keep telling myself. But it was really funny because he did actually wear it. Like I brought it up and I put it on him because he was taking a nap. So I just like lifted up his head, shoved the thing on his head, and he just looked at me and he went back to sleep. And I'm like, beautiful, perfection. Have a lovely snuggly time, you weird little dog. But yeah, no, he seemingly tolerated it just fine. I don't know if he's gonna keep wearing it, and I wouldn't make him do it if he didn't want to, but I think he liked it just fine, so that's good. So yeah, again, I don't have that because it's on the dog. And he doesn't take pictures very well, unfortunately, but that's fine. So yeah, those are my only two finished objects at this point. So next, I want to talk about my works in progress, which I think are a little bit more exciting. All right, so works in progress. I do have 3 of them. Like I said, I normally have 3. One of them is not my blanket. My blanket is officially in hibernation because I can't get this sweater done because I keep getting distracted. So that's fun. Blanket is still here. He's just taking a nap. But I do have actual works in progress I've been working on. I'm going to start with of course I put my notebook down and I immediately need it, the 8 Days a Week sweater by Mary Annarella. Once again, this is the one I'm working on for my lovely wife, Kylie. And it's coming along pretty good, you guys. I have finished both of the sleeves, so that's good. We have a super cropped sweater currently, and I am currently working on the cowl part of this, and it's a pretty long boy right now. I've got like, I think 10 more rows on this cowl before it'll be done and I can move on to finishing the body. But yeah, no, the cowl itself is actually coming along really nicely. It's mostly this like 3x2 ribbing, and you're working it from the outside basically. So when you flip it over, it looks like this on the inside, but currently I'm seeing this on the outside. So I thought, because we're continuing the cable, and I thought I was gonna have difficulty with that just because the like the pulling over of the stitches that you have to do, but it's actually not too bad. It's just a little weird to wrap my head around doing it inside out basically, but I mean right side out it's coming along pretty nicely, if you can see the little cable on that. I'm really excited about it. Yeah, just a few more rows on that and then I'll be done and I can start on the body, and then I can actually be finished with this sweater that has taken me years at this point. So I'm very excited about that. I want to be done with it before this winter is over because I want her to actually be able to wear it once it's ready and not have to put it away for, another year until winter rolls around again. But luckily out here in Colorado, the winter continues until April, sometimes to May. So we should be fine. I've got plenty of time. But yeah, no, and it's just, it's super cozy. It's so cozy. I can't wait to see it on her. I hope she's gonna like it. I hope she's gonna like it. Yeah, no, nothing else really to say about that. I'm just keep plugging away at it. And I did start 2 new projects in the meantime. Since I finished 2 projects, I can start 2 projects. That's how it works, right? So they're both socks, actually. And I have been in a sock funk for a long time. I loved making socks. I was obsessed with making socks. When I learned how to make socks, I made nothing but socks for 6 months. And for most of those 6 months, I was unemployed at the time, so I was making a pair of socks a week. I was just spending all day knitting socks. And it was great, and I had so many. And then I got employed, so I started having a job, and I wanted to knit other things, so I was still making a lot of socks. But I tried to do the So Sweet Violets sock, like 12 socks a year thing. I can't remember, she had a name for it. Rainbow sock along, because you're supposed to make 12 socks and they were all going to be in a rainbow pattern so you could put them together and it was going to look really pretty. And I got through like May of that. And it was just really stressing me out because I had to make a pair of socks a month. I had to, and I couldn't do anything else until I had made my pair of socks. And it was just kind of stifling a little bit, which I've heard people have sometimes if they like gift knits or knitting to deadlines and things like that, then it makes them stressed. And I get that, because when I had to make a pair of socks, I couldn't make anything else basically, until that was finished. And it kind of burnt me out a little bit. So I stopped. I didn't make socks for ages and ages. And then my dad loves the pair of socks that I made for him. Loves them. I've given him 3 now because for Christmas he wanted another pair of socks with a really, I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted. My cat is trying to get into the craft room. She's so cute. Just see her little paw coming up under the door like, let me in. But so he wanted a pair of socks for Christmas. And I was like, okay, I don't normally make socks anymore, but I will because I love you and I want you to have all handmade socks. Because he loves my handmade socks. Like his feet are really weird. He's got really, really skinny ankles and huge paddle feet. So I had to like stitch together a separate sock recipe just for his feet to make sure that they were like snug enough to not fall down, but also wide enough to fit over his like ankles, because his ankles are like huge. So, I enjoy making his socks because I feel like if anybody needs them, really, it's him. But so I made him his socks for Christmas, and he really liked them. And then I'm like, okay, I'm back into socks for a little bit because I made my dad Christmas socks. My friend Tamar, the girl with the very fancy bougie silk yarn that I told you all about last time, she has wanted me to make her a pair of socks for years now, ever since I first learned to make socks. So, and she's had her heart set on a particular pattern, so I started on those. And these also have a bit of a story. But first, I want to show you, this is my other cute project bag. This is the project bag that came from the Yuletide Mystery Box from November Woods Fiber Company. I love her podcast so much. She's like, literally, she's my favorite. I love her so much. And she makes beautiful things. Beautiful, wonderful, amazing things. And this is one of them. She did a little mystery box for the winter that had this project bag and a handmade pottery mug and like tea, and she made her own stitch markers, and of course she dyed some yarn for it, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit. But so it's so beautiful, and every time I work with her things I just feel so cozy. So this is my primary sock bag, and it's just so cute. Look at the little mistletoe. Oh my god. I love this bag. I love this bag so much. I want 20 of them. But anyway, so Tamar's socks live in here right now. And I will take them out and show you before I go into the pattern details. Well, no, I'm a liar. I'm going to tell you about the pattern first. So these are the Rita Socks by Danielle Jorge, I think is how you pronounce her last name. I don't think it's George. I think it's Jorge. And Tamar, as we know, loves gold. So I spent a long time trying to find the goldiest gold sock yarn that I could because I still wanted it to be durable socks, you know, and not terrible. And I think I found a pretty good one. So these are the Rita Socks, and they've got these cute, cute, cute little diamonds on them, which of course Tamar loves because it's just even more fancy. And I'm really, really happy with how these are going, actually. I have tried to make this pattern before. When my first foray into making socks, I didn't really know about what made good sock yarn. I didn't know about what made good, like gauge and how you could get good socks and things like that. I was just making to make. So I had this set of, I don't even really know what they are, but they're some kind of acrylic. They're a metallic acrylic yarn, I believe. And they were, I'm pretty sure, a sport to a light decay, not fingering. Did not realize they were not fingering because they didn't have any ball bands. They'd been donated to me. And they were metallic, so they were really scratchy. But I'm like, oh, it's sparkly. It'll be perfect for Tamar. She loves sparkly things. So I tried to make these socks on that. And it was a nightmare. It hurt so bad because I was just using my little 9-inch sock needles, which I love. Any of you naysayers who don't like 9-inch circulars can be quiet. I don't want to tell you to shut up, but you can be quiet for a minute because I love them so much. They're perfect and they're wonderful, and I don't think I'll ever use anything else. But anyway, so no, I had my little 9-inch circulars and this thicker than it should have been yarn, and it was scratchy and it had no give whatsoever. And I was trying to do lace for basically the first time because this is just, you know, cute little lace pattern. And it was awful, and I hated it. And I got through exactly one because I'm like, no, I have to make these socks for my friend. And they were awful. And I'm pretty sure I still have the yarn up there in my shame box. Maybe I'll take a picture of it so you guys can see what I mean. But I hated it. And I'm like, I'm never going to do this pattern again. We're going to have to think of something else. And then I moved on to other socks. And then I started getting back into socks. I'm like, okay, I've done more lace now. I still don't like lace, but I've done it. I'm more experienced. I know what good sock yarn is. I know how to pace myself. I'm going to try this again. And it's going a lot better. You know, when I was working on the leg, I did a repeat of the lace per night, which was about 18 rows, so about 1.5 inches. And I was going through them really well, and then I got the heel done, and yeah, I'm pretty darn happy with it. It helps that this yarn is also really nice. Let me get the ball band out. But yeah, this is, I found this on Etsy. This is a chick that knits, hand-dyed yarns, and this is in the color Copper Tone. Here's her cute little ball band. Isn't that adorable? I love it. It's just a good old 80/20 extra fine merino sock. So, you know, I know it's not going to be terrible to work with, and it isn't. And it's really nice, and it's really soft, and the color is perfect. And I love, if you can see on here, like, it's a tonal, but it's got this, like, bit of soft striping going on with it. Oh, it's gorgeous. It's super gorgeous. And I'm kind of, like, excited to keep going with it. Also, I always do a heel flap and gusset for my socks. So I do normally like an Eye of Partridge reinforced heel, and I just love how it looks in this. Like, it's so subtle, but it's just a little diamond pattern, and it like matches the diamond pattern on the rest of the sock, and I just like, look at that. Look at that. Is it not amazing? And I was talking with Tamara on the phone actually while I was working on the heel, and I was telling her how much I love turning the heel on socks. It is my favorite part of anything. because it's magic. It's yarn magic. It really is. When I was first learning how to make socks, I was following a video tutorial, and she was like going step by step how to do it, and like I had to watch her part on turning the heel like 4 times because I could not wrap my brain around how we were changing directions, how this was happening, because we were just knitting in straight lines. So how is there a turn? And I couldn't figure it out. And when I did, I was just over the moon because knitting magic. It's perfect. We are changing one tube into another tube with a few little short rows, and it's the best. And I love doing it so much. Yeah, it's just so cool. I love knitting. I'm always just so overcome with how much I love knitting and how much I love yarn sometimes. It's so great. But anyway, so I've gotten pretty far on these, and I put them down for a little bit because I have been craving making my own pair of socks, because I haven't made my own pair of socks in ages. And I'm working from home right now, and my cold kitchen tile floors are mean to my feet. I'm like, man, I know I have a lot of knit socks, but like I want just like a fresh pair of super cozy knit socks. And I really like the Hermione's Everyday Sock pattern by Erica Louder. Not really sure how to pronounce that, I'm sorry. But you all know, if you make socks, you know the Hermione's Everyday Sock pattern. It's a classic. And it's a classic for a reason, because it's super freaking cozy. So I really wanted some of those, and I wanted them in a super cozy yarn, because I have had this one skein of yarn for a while. From back when I was doing my first round of sock knitting. And it was gorgeous. So I'm going to talk about that first. But it's this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful... I'm trying to get up close so you can see all the colors in it. The camera's not picking it up too well. But it's this pastel rainbow skein of yarn. And I love it because I know I don't wear a lot of pastels, but I love pastels so much. They're so beautiful. But this is Hickory Lane Fiber Co. And this is the colorway Prism, which makes perfect sense because it's a rainbow. And I actually got it on their Superwash Cashmere Nylon sock base. And it's making this super cute little sock. I am just so in love with it. It's freaking gorgeous. I'm just making like kind of half calf socks. So I'm already at the heel. Just because I used to wear a lot of boots. And so I would like make really long socks to go with that. But nowadays I'm not wearing as many boots, so I don't really need as long of socks. So they look kind of funny right now, but they'll be exactly what I need. But just like, look at this. Look at this gorgeousness. Isn't it so beautiful? So it's got, because again, the lighting isn't perfect to pick up these colors, but there's like these blues and greens and really faint little bits of yellow in there. And then every now and then you'll get these like dark kind of spots, and it just brings the beauty out and everything. And I'm just obsessed with this skein of yarn. I've been holding on to it for a long time because I wanted to find the perfect use for it. And I was debating making socks or making a shawl, but the past week, I've just been like literally craving. Like I had a dream that I was making these. That's how bad I needed that. So I finally started. And I just love how many textures there are in this thing. Like we got the ribbing, and then the Hermione pattern, which is super nice and squishy. And then again, just this freaking Eye of Partridge heel is so cute. And it shows off the different colors so well. And oh man, you guys, I love it. I love it so much. And another reason I wanted to make them a little bit shorter is because I want to get my money's worth out of this skein. So I was also going to make some fingerless gloves, which I like to make a lot. So I found a fingerless glove pattern, which I haven't started it yet, but it's in my to make, which is the Mitt Envy by Weaselana. I'll put a picture up from her Ravelry page to give you an idea of what it is. But it's, oh man, they look super cute. They've got this little cable down the center, and it's pretty simple. So I'm hoping if I don't make the leg as long, I'll have enough left over to make a nice pair of fingerless mitts for that, so then I can have some on my feet and on my hands, and I can like really get my use out of this yarn because it's so soft with the cashmere. Twitter pated is me. I love it so much. So yeah, those are all of my whips, and I look forward to keep working on them. So I'm going to take a little break, and then I'm going to come back and talk about the future knitting things that I want to do. So I don't really know what to call this section. It's like future knitting. I heard So Sweet Violet calls it dream knitting, and I think that's really cute. So we'll go with that, dream knitting. For this segment, I've got two things I want to talk about. I have the yarn for both projects, so that's exciting. Let's see. Basically, we'll just get started. So, remember last time I had that cowl, the red cowl with the chunky wool. I have not been able to stop thinking about that yarn. It was so good. It was so good. And I wanted to make more with it. But it was expensive, and I was like, no, I shouldn't. But I did anyway. But to be fair to me, I have been on like a semi-yarn ban recently, so I haven't been buying a whole lot of yarn. So I was like, it's okay, I can treat myself. It's fine. So I did. And I got a sweater's quantity of Tundra by the Fiber Co. Look at it. Look at it. It's got this cute little halo. It's so squishy and soft. I love it so much. And I actually have the tag now, so I can read to you what we actually have here. It's baby alpaca, merino, and silk. And that's why it's so delicious. And this is in the color Blue Lagoon. Which is, again, super pretty little pastel color. I have a sweater's quantity of it, which I did better this time. I got 9 balls. Or skeins, so hopefully I won't have too much left over like last time. I'm trying to be better about that. But I'm super excited to make a chunky sweater out of this. And I picked out a pattern, which I will put up a picture of. It is the Letti Sweater by Orlane Suka? God, I'm really so bad at names. I'm so sorry to everybody. But so I've got that in the works, and I'm so excited for it because I've wanted to do a cabled sweater for a long time. And I mean, I do one day dream of doing like an all-over fisherman style cabled sweater, but those are kind of hard to find in sizes that'll fit me that are also top down. Those are my very strict requirements because, as I said last time, I hate bottom-up sweaters, and I really, really don't like seaming like at all. If it has to be seamed, I don't want to do it, because I know I'm just never going to finish it. But the Letti one is a top-down yoke style. So just the cables are just on the yoke, but like I'm so excited. And it looks so pretty. It looks so pretty, and it's going to be gorgeous in that light colorway. I can't wait. It's going to be the most expensive sweater I've ever made, but I think it'll be worth it because it'll just be, again, like this stuff is warm, right? Like I can go out in like really cold with the cowl I have, so I can only imagine having a whole sweater made out of it, and it'll just be so cozy. I can't wait. I want it now. I want to have the thing, but I have to make the thing because it's knit. So I'm really excited about that. I'm really, really, really excited about that one. And hopefully you will be seeing it soon once I get started on it. I do want to finish Kylie's sweater before I do that, because I think having one sweater project going at once is enough, just to be safe. And then the next thing I wanted to do is it's called Walsh by Julie Hoover, and that is, I'll put a picture up for you again. It's a little head kerchief, and I think it'll be really cute. It's got, again, some like fun little cables down the center, and I've been holding on to this, this gorgeous green skein from November Woods. This was from the Yuletide Mystery Box. Been holding on to it. I want to find a really good pattern excuse me. I want to find a really good pattern to use for it because it's the only one I have. And it was a limited edition colorway. So it's basically the only one there is, as far as I'm concerned. But just look at that gorgeous tonality to it with the darker and then the lighter pits. This is on her larch base, and it's 459 yards to 100 grams, so it's a good little skein. It's not superwash, which is a nice thing that Alexandria does. She doesn't do a whole lot of superwash stuff. She's very into woolly wools, and I'm so excited for this, but I knew I couldn't use it for socks, because again, it's going to be too scratchy for my feet personally, but I wanted to find something perfect to use it for. And honestly, I think this handkerchief is going to be really good, because it's a one skein project, and it'll use up most of this. And I used to wear kerchiefs all the time when I was in like middle school, just because I was super lazy with my hair, and I didn't want to like style it or do things to it all the time, so I would just like, if I wasn't gonna be doing anything, I would just throw it up, cover it up. And I haven't done that in a long time, but I could get back into some kerchiefs, I think. I could be down for that. Because, like, I mean, honestly, look at the pattern. It's so cute. It's so freaking cute. And her Ravelry page for it has just the cutest aesthetic. It's, like, all fall and cozy, and I just think it'll look gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous in this green. So, I'm very excited to do that as well. And then, of course, I already told you about the mittens that I wanted to do, which would be good, because I love a good, like, fingerless glove. And I have some at work that are acrylic, and they're kind of pilling, and they're not super cute, and they're, like, they were the first ones I ever did, so they aren't, like, at the right height for my fingers, basically, and, like, they're down here, which is, like, not the best. So I've been wanting to make some new ones for a while, but I wanted them to be like super cute and with really nice yarn. So I have that now. So I have plans. Yeah. So I think that's about it, really. As far as like knitting content goes. Just to do a bit of like catch up with me, I've been doing a whole lot of nothing really aside from knitting. I've been working from home, like I said. I've been just kind of staying home, which honestly I like. My office is really far away. It's like a 45 to an hour drive, 45 minutes to an hour. And it's kind of awful. I hate that commute so much. And we're saving up right now to get a condo in the city, but that's a long ways away. So for now, having this break of my commute being the 3 minutes it takes me to walk from my bedroom to my kitchen setup and get everything set up is really, really nice. It's super nice. So I've been enjoying that, but it means I haven't really been going anywhere or doing much of anything. Kylie's good. The cat's good. Everybody's pretty alright. So not really much new on that front. So I guess I'm gonna sign off then and just say thank you again for coming to my channel and stopping by to see what I've been up to. I don't know if I should put up my Instagram page, because my Instagram page is not really set up for this. It's just like mine. So there's a lot of non-knitting content on there. I don't know if anybody would be interested in having that link, but let me know if you want it. But otherwise, yeah, just thank you so much for coming back to see me. And if anybody new is stumbling upon this, thank you so much for watching me all the way to the end. I really appreciate it. And I will see you all again soon.